Rating 2025's health and nutrition trends as a registered dietitian. Let's get into it. GLP-1s for weight loss specifically, 5 out of 10. I'm pretty neutral on this. I can see where it's beneficial for some, but overall, everyone's out here looking like a deflated balloon and still not fixing their relationships with food, which does come around and bite them in the butt later. Protein and everything, 3 out of 10. It's probably not going to hurt you to add more protein into your day. And the fact that it's a trend does make it easier to get more, but it's getting out of control. Protein popcorn? Really, Chloe? Do we need that? No. Fiber maxing, 8 out of 10. I'm convinced that if we got enough fiber, 98% of our problems in the USA would be gone. Therefore, I'm stoked that fiber is getting the attention that it deserves. However, too much, too fast is going to make you learn things about your digestive system that you did not consent to. Electrolytes daily, 2 out of 10. Literally such a waste of money. The average Joe does not need electrolytes added into their day. This is useful for someone who's an athlete, maybe someone who's breastfeeding, and even in a few rare medical circumstances like a restrictive type eating disorder. Otherwise, you're just paying for overpriced pee. Just have a couple salted potatoes and a handful of almonds next time. They have their place. It's just not as frequent as people make it seem. AI meal plans and nutritionists. 1 out of 10. I refrained from making this a 0 purely because AI can be helpful for giving you recipe ideas when you're trying to figure out what to make based on what's in your pantry, or for having somebody do the executive functioning of meal planning that you don't want to do. But the second you start to ask AI about nutrition, it's pulling from a variety of sources on the internet. And as we know, the internet is full of misinformation about nutrition. AI just ends up regurgitating and repeating that same misinformation. It ends up with tons of inaccuracies. In the end, a professional is still going to be able to use AI better than somebody who doesn't know what types of questions to ask or what type of data to look for. Clean eating or cutting out processed foods, 2 out of 10. Not because I'm pro having as much processed food as you possibly can, or because I'm being paid off by big food or something. More so because right now, this feels like a really toxic narrative. If you were asking me this 10 years ago, or maybe even 10 years from now, I might say different. But in this moment, it feels really overemphasized and inappropriate, also just unrealistic for a lot of people. We should be showing people how to make healthy choices with processed foods instead of saying you got to cut it out altogether. Anti-inflammatory diet, 5 out of 10. Just depends on how you're defining it. If you think eating generally whole and plant-forward foods are anti-inflammatory, because they are, and are still allowing yourself to enjoy your life and be a human who likes convenience foods from time to time, then great, 10 out of 10. But if you think gluten and dairy are inherently inflammatory, or that you can never have sugar or flour, or that the carnivore diet is anti-inflammatory, then 0 out of 10. Going alcohol-free, 10 out of 10. Excellent trend that I am fully on board with. Alcohol is toxic at any dose and any amount. It's doing far more harm than freaking red dye 40 ever did. It's a relatively small change that can be made to make a huge impact on someone's health. It's a good one to focus on. What trends did I leave out? I feel like there was a lot this year.